Hi, hello YouTube, hello everyone. At it again. Hats off to any creators out there, because tell you what, getting those angles, lighting and everything is a nightmare. Don't even start me on the mic. I know I haven't got a mic, and frankly it doesn't bother me too much as long as I can project enough and you can understand me with my accent as well. As long as you can hear me, that's okay with me. So I'm out and I'm on the kitchen table with some bits and bobs, some rat cages. Got my paper out because it's basically just cleaning one of the cages, if you can see that, if I'm even in frame. Rocky's wandering about as well. So yeah, I've just popped my phone up, popped it up. I hope the angle's okay, and I'm just gonna go for it. Film while I'm cleaning. Why not? Hello. You're a good boy. Rocky's a good boy. Yeah, you're not long had some food. Just been treating Rocky to some steak. I had steak for tea. And he gets a little bit of what I get, really, whatever I eat. You know, he gets a little bit of my dinner as well, don't you, boy? Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? Come on. Get up there. Come on. Yes, kid. Come on, you can jump up. You can jump up. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. He does jump up now and again when he really wants to. But he likes sitting on his bed as well, spending time to himself, and I like that. But especially if I'm busy doing something like this, cleaning out the rats, then he's probably going to be a bit more curious about what I'm doing. And that's okay. He can have a little sniff, he can investigate, yes. Good boy. Good boy. But you know, he's not a little dog, he's not exactly a teacup breed. Oh yeah. He's like a medium, small to medium sized dog, I'd say. Because yeah, he's definitely got the Jack Russell in him, but he's a lot taller than a standard Jack Russell. And I guess that's just the Staffordshire Bull Terrier coming out in him as well. A lot of people ask me when I'm out walking him, you know, what's he? Well, they can't tell what breed he is, basically, and it is hard, it is difficult. I would have just only guessed unless I've been told, you know, so yeah, but that was on his tag when I first got him, Staff Jack. And he has got traits of both, like he has got the cuddly friendly side of the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, almost needy, you know, borderline, and then he's got like some of the Jack Russell traits as well, which I'll say are probably negative, like his prey drive, for instance. You know, if he sees movement outside, he's got to go after it, you know, even if it's a plastic bag floating by. So that's a bit of a negative, but that's definitely coming from his Jack Russell or Terrier, you know, instincts. And I love him regardless, so that's fine. Rocky, you're interested, aren't you, in what I'm doing? What's in here? What's in here? What's that? Cockroaches? There we giant hissing cockroaches. I had a nice gentleman come today and collect some cockroaches. I think he's interested in starting his own colony. So I might have made a new contact there, new friend. Shout out to Andrew if he's watching. Aye, enjoy your roaches. You're getting comfy. You know, it gets a bit uncomfortable after a little while, doesn't it? You can't exactly sit on your lap, you know, you're not that small. So, you can sit here for a while. We'll see how long we can put up with it. Ugh. So what I'm doing now is ripping up some newspaper. I've just cleaned out the tray and the cage itself. All the wire, brushed it down, soapy water, and the tray, and now it's dried out, so I'm filling it up again. and I just use scrap newspaper. And today I'm using scrap newspaper and sawdust. But I do mix it up. Sometimes I'll throw a bit of straw in, sometimes I'll throw a bit of hay in. You can get like different types of substrates, rat friendly substrates, you know, and they're all great, you know, if you can mix it up and give them, you know, as many different textures as you can, really, you know. Some people don't have a substrate at all because the rats are litter trained and they'll use litter trays. Some of my rats will use a litter tray, but because not all of them do it at the same time, it makes no difference to me. So I just end up putting bedding in the bottom, no matter what, and it gives them somewhere else to rustle through. You know, you can sprinkle food, and yeah, it's just a bit of an extra thing for them, a bit of an extra enrichment, sifting through cardboard strands or newspaper, scrunch it up if you like, because at the end of it they'll do what they like with it anyway. That's probably enough paper, so I'll put a little layer of paper in. Come on Rocky, get down. Good boy. Little layer of paper in, and little layer of sawdust I'll do as well. Bog standard sawdust, you know, you can be real picky about things and bedding and everything. And some people say sawdust is bad as well, especially if you don't get the extracted kind. You know, but most of it is dust extracted these days. It's always on the label, but it's going to end up with dust because it's sawdust, you know. Oh, I cut my finger earlier today. Can you tell? And it looks like I've popped it again. I might try and pause while I just clean myself up. What am I like? So that was scissors earlier when I was cutting out bedding. Again, for the rats, I was cutting out some hammocks and I cut my finger, so I'm gonna have to whack another plaster on that. I thought it had stopped bleeding, but it hasn't. Hello again. So I managed to get a plaster out and dry my finger off, clean my finger off a little bit. So what's happened there is I've obviously forgotten about it and been careless, haven't I? And it wasn't, it's not the type of cut to be careless about really, and it almost took tipping my little finger off. But I haven't done that for such a long time, you know. I've got a lot of scars on my hands from injuries with tools where I've accidentally cut myself, but it's been a long time. Alright, so there we go, never too old to cut your finger. Right, so we'll get back to what we were doing anyway. This in the bin, yeah. So where was I? I was putting sawdust in here. So to keep my finger a bit raised, maybe, you know. I had to do that earlier. Basically, just keep it above my head. Let's see. Make a bit of room. Now I should say, it does take a long time to clean out cages. If you want to do a thorough job, you know, it can take you a good hour. Depending on the size of the cage. This is only a little one. This would only take me between half an hour and an hour maybe, depending if I had to make the hammocks as well. Sometimes I make hammocks ahead of time, so I've got hammocks already just to put in, fresh hammocks. But like, yeah, if you give it a good thorough clean, like I have today, it's gonna take a while. Yeah, you got to run it under the hot water, give it a scrub, you know, disinfect it, dry it, and start from scratch basically. But in a week's time, I'll only have to really replace the bedding or maybe one hammock. So it's, yeah, a full clean you only end up doing like every couple of weeks, two a month. Depends on how many rats you've got. Depends on how many rats you've got, how big the cage is. But yeah, it is time consuming. So I hope you enjoy cleaning cages, because that is a lot of keeping rats and keeping animals. That is a lot of it. You know, 90% of the time you're cleaning up after them, playing with them 10%. You know, that's probably the truth of the matter. So yeah, gotta enjoy it, and I do like doing it. You know, it's satisfying. It's definitely satisfying when you get a nice new clean cage, or new bedding in there, new hammocks, make it look aesthetically pleasing, you know. And your rats enjoy it too, whatever animal it is you're keeping. You know, I know every time I get the cages cleaned, they just go ecstatic, because it's like a new house for them every time. It's not like they miss their old furniture, you know, like we might miss things the way they were, but no, they love exploring new things. So even when their cage is cleaned, it's like walking into a new environment for them. So they love that. So I've got some hammocks here, but they're not quite the right size for this cage. So I may have to look for more. Just a little tub here to keep like me hammock making things in. Cloths, materials, little catches and scissors, and certain little, this is a handy little tool, some sort of hook for threads or sewing maybe, I don't know. Handy for pulling the thread through the bars, the ties. So yeah, that's that. And I don't know, okay, there's a little one. Here's a little one, I don't know if I can use that. Let's see. On your bed, Rocky. Good boy. Got to scrape it out because I was scraping the dirt off the tub before I washed it. This is what I'm talking about, just like spare bedding, you know, literally it used to be a duvet cupboard. So I will cut that to size and get a couple of hammocks out of it probably. So how are you today? How's things going for you? How's the weather where you are? It's terrible here. Northwest England, not the sunniest place in the world. We did have a couple of nice good weeks, I think, in June. And then, I don't know what happens in July, it just started raining. So we've had muddy, wet days. It's just a little bit more unpleasant, you know, to walk the dog in. It's not very nice, but it's still the sun tries to come through a little bit, so appreciate that. Thanks, sun. What are you lingering around for? Rocky's just sniffing the sawdust. So yeah, I've cut out a couple of hammocks there. Sure you can see them just fine. Now let's see if I've got ties. Yeah, okay, so I've got one kind of made. Here's two. That's a good size, okay. Now if you've seen in my previous videos, I'm not sure, but I've done a little video on making hammocks where I sat there for a while watching the couch, on the couch with the rats, and I was making hammocks. Sorry, couldn't get my words out right then. So yeah, if you've seen that, thanks for the views. I'll show you again. I'm cutting a little hole in each corner. Each corner of the hammock. Why am I doing that? Well, because I'm going to thread these through, these strings, and they're going to hold the hammock in place. Aren't they? Yeah, they are. You wagging your tail? You wagging your tail? He's a good boy. Yes. Alright. So that's one done. Yeah, I decided that I like to film these longer videos. I don't mind so much, you know, try not to screw up halfway through. But I guess I've just stopped caring now, so it's harder to screw up when you don't care as much. It's a fact, you know. So here I am making hammocks, and you know, you've got every right to switch this off, and you've got every right to just go and look at another channel, whatever entertains you, you know. But if you're actually sitting there now still watching me, then thanks very much. I appreciate that. Why not either, you know. Thank you. Yeah, say thank you. Good boy. Oh yeah. Alright. You know, because some people are into this and some people aren't, and it just depends if you've got the time of day or the patience, you know, sit there watching somebody make hammocks. I guess I thought in the past, like, you know, that's what stops me from making these kind of videos, because it's like you question it yourself. You go, would I watch that? Or wow, it's not even in your mind that somebody might want to see you doing this, you know. So that's the mindset I've had to try and like snap out of in order to do this. So yeah, just gives you a little glimpse into my quiet little life which I'm leading, and how I handle the animals that I've got. So it's just it's a learning curve for me to be filming this and sharing it. It feels a bit strange, foreign, but I do enjoy it as well. Like pushing my capabilities and sharing what I know. What are you doing, Rocky? You're being nosy. What are you doing? Are you bed then? Come on. Don't play up because camera's on. He'd usually be like just lying there sleeping now, but because I'm talking, it's like somebody else is in the room or something like that. Or he's playing up a little bit more. It's a bit odd, isn't it? Rocky, come on now. Can you jump up? Good boy. Good boy. You're confused, aren't you? You don't know who I'm talking to. It's all very strange. technology and animals, I don't know if they mix very well, guys. I don't, you know, I've said it before, but like filming and everything, you miss the moment, and it's hard to actually, you know, concentrate, and you're spending less time looking at, you know, I could be looking at Rocky, I could be talking to Rocky, but instead I'm talking to you guys, I'm acknowledging the camera. Where are you going? You can't get up. No, no, you don't do that. No. Well, what are you doing? It's just the rats. So rats are in another cage just behind me, because I swapped them about as well. Like, this cage will probably stay empty for a little while, and so I keep one in the living room, one in the bedroom, maybe upstairs, and just alternate them, swap them around the house every now and again. Get down, you cheeky. Get down. Shouldn't do that. So, yeah, but I've got the large main cage in the kitchen, 2 cages in the kitchen actually. Aye, and they're just spare, so I can, you know, bring my rats from room to room. If I'm upstairs, I can bring them upstairs. If I'm in the living room, I can bring them in the living room with me. It's just options. And you never know when you're going to need an extra cage as well. So just going to do this as quickly as I can. Let's see. Without my little tool. Hang that in, so you get the general idea, I hope, anyway. It's so easy, and if you're just sitting there watching the telly, you know, what harm is it doing this? And it's a good idea, you know, transfer your rats into another cage, or your animal, whatever animal it is you're dealing with. Transfer it into another clean cage somewhere. While you're doing your job, your work. This is just like, this is probably a appropriate sized cage just for one rat, I'd say, you know, and that's only if you're getting it out as well every day. I would like to keep a rat in this just as is. You know, it just depends on your lifestyle and how you treat your animals, really. But you know, if you haven't got that much time for them, or you can't get them out on a regular basis, then yeah, buy a huge cage and use it. But you'll be cleaning that cage out a lot. If you keep your rats in one place anywhere. So yeah, but this is like perfect, you know. If you say you've just got one rat, however you've come across one rat, it's perfect for like keeping close to this cage. It's, you know, mobile. You just bring it from room to room, as I said before, and it helps like just accustom your rat to you. And if you've got the cage open all the time and it's got access to the living room, the sofa, or the bedroom, wherever you keep your rat or your rats, then it's just gonna treat this as like a bed, basically, somewhere to drink, somewhere to eat, and that's it. But like, it'll go home on its own. You won't have to tell your rat to get back in the cage. You know, it will. It just will on its own. It knows where home is. So if you free roam your rats, something like this is ideal, which I do. But you know, since getting me dog, I've had to tone that down a lot more. It used to be like a daily routine for the rats. Every day, twice or three times a day, I'd let the rats out, either upstairs in the spare room with me or on the sofa in the living room, just to play and give them treats, train them, maybe do bits and bobs, training. But since getting a dog, yeah, I've had to slow that down. I've had to stop letting them out so much, because the dog needs attention now. So the rats get played with a little bit less, and that's why they got more access to different cages and stuff like that, because it just helps keep them happy, that's all. Alright. Still come out. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you probably know Rocky is accustomed to them now, and they trust him as well to a certain extent. They're very trusting of the dog. So maybe, you know, I think one day I'll be able to free roam your rats all day, every day, like I used to with without Rocky. I'm sure he'll get to that point where it won't bother him at all, and I won't even have to keep a little beady eye on him, which I do now. Yeah. It's almost done with the second hammock. Yeah, I'm not rushing this. I'm not rushing this because I'm just enjoying it, talking, you know. What's wrong with that? So yeah, reuse everything you can. Maximise what you've got and minimise the waste, I suppose. So like, instead of these old bedding going straight in the bin or elsewhere, you know, they got used again. One last life as a rat hammock, and then, you know, in a couple of weeks time, a few weeks time, these will be getting put in the bin, and fresh ones will be going in. And it's constant, you know, everyone's got old clothes, everyone's got old bedding, sheets, towels, things like that. Everyone's got that. Needs another long piece. Oops. Where's that gone? It gets a bit chaotic. It does, and I don't know if it looks chaotic, but look at all this like material around, newspaper now, a cloth, scissors, scraper. Just gets a bit chaotic, but doesn't anything. When you've got to clean, sometimes you've got to make a mess to clean things up, if that makes sense. Sometimes just tear it, depends. Last one going in. There we go. Little skinny hammock. Let's see where I can put this one. Yeah, looks the right way around to me. Eat Rocky. Silent space, almost forgot I was filming there for a second. Silent space, can't be having that. Oh god. Do you know, it is what it is. You know, it's not scripted, so anything can happen. Right now I'm just getting to the end of this. So this is what I was doing earlier when I cut my finger. I literally took the scissors and snipped my finger instead of the tie. Ooh, made me wince. Injuries, yeah, they come with owning pets, you know, injuries. As I was saying earlier, plenty of scars and stories about animals biting, scratching, injuries just to do with like trapping your fingers in lids and things like that. You know, it's very easily done, but with age comes experience. You start being a bit more gentle with things and thinking a bit more before you act. I think, you know, so like I say, I haven't injured myself in a long time. Like that. That'll do. Voila. Excellent. So I'm trimming the excess off each tie. Just makes it look a little bit neater, that's all. Nothing, no special purpose to it. So all this is pretty much rubbish that can just go in straight in the cage. Bedding, you know, they'll use that. This one I'll probably keep for more ties. Got more ties there. Hi. Fold this back up. Pop it in my tub. I'd probably like to put a couple more things in this. Don't know if I've got anything though, but like this, you could use again just me old bedding or whatever, and roll it up. Show you what I mean. So fancy like something like that in the cage. It'd have to be a lot thicker, but I usually tie them in along the side of the cage bars like that, and it gives them a ledge to climb on as well. So all the extra space off the floor is anything you can get away with, the better, really. So I like to put one of those around the perimeter, give them somewhere to cling on to climb on, and but otherwise that's okay, to be honest. That's not bad whatsoever. It's got two little hammocks. It's only a part-time cage anyway. Literally, when they're using this, they're free roaming, basically. Alright. Just got to tidy up a little bit now, put things away. So yeah. That's what I do now. Yeah, pop those away. Well then, I'll end the video here. Once again, thanks for watching. If you want to leave a comment, you know, if you want to see any particular videos, animals, you know, just let me know, and I'll do my best to fulfill those wishes. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.